who you're dating, who you got married to. Frankly speaking, I didn't even know you had a wife, bro. Is this thing real, Ama? It's part of your...
No, but it's actually true.
It's for real.
Yeah, like I got married. You know that people think they know me, but there's like a whole life behind me that people don't know. I only push out what I want to be out there. But there are things like I just put in. There are transactions I pull like. Zingine tuko chini ya maji. You won't even post. You won't even say shit.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool. After hours, but don't cuss again. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So like there are things you'll do chini ya maji. Yeah, but like the relationship, there's one there are things I'll do, and then when you tell people like, look, we actually like married, and everybody's shocked.
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, is this one of those relations where I'm like, no, look, I'm very intentional about this whole relationship thing, this whole settling down thing. I think as a man, there's a level you get to, and there's a certain level you can't cross if you don't have a family. You're not grounded. There's always that period where you can have fun, jibamba, do your thing. But then there's a level now you get to, and you're like, look, I need to settle down. I need to start setting up a family. I need to start training my replacement.
I agree. That's interesting. It's about time, man. So do you feel like you're under pressure to get married? Is that what you're telling us?
No, I'm not really under pressure.
Okay.
It's actually, it's basically, for me, it's a decision. I sat down, I assessed my life. I realized this is where I was going wrong or making these sort of mistakes. And I'm like, look, this I think is the best time to get married because I've seen quite a number of things. I've gotten a lot of experience. I mean, the things that I go through are not the typical things your 27-year-old goes through. At times I joke that I feel like I'm 40 sometimes because I've dealt with very many bad and good things that very big blessings people don't get early, and also very big challenges people don't get early. So I'm like, look, the next thing for me is now I need to settle down. I need to start having a farm. And my dad always told me, like, bro, just the moment you feel like things are going well for you, just settle down, get a wife, and move on to the next step.
Who do you look up to the most, bro? Because you've achieved a lot at 27, man. Who's your mentor?
There's a guy I admire, Elon. I really admire Elon Musk. Yeah.
Why do you admire him?
Yeah, sorry?
Why do you admire him?
Because he's very driven.
Okay.
I remember, like, I draw a lot of inspiration from Twitter because Elon gets trolled a lot. In fact, I remember last year when he bought Twitter, everybody was like, it's going to die. It's a bad mistake. And I remember tweeting and telling guys, like, you people don't have a freaking idea how good this guy is.
Correct, man.
Some of us have been following his journey. We didn't start following him right now. I've been following this guy for like 4 years. So I know what this man is capable of.
Yeah.
Guys are like, say, nini. But Elon is brilliant. Like, he does crazy things. And he's not like, you didn't say he's one of those people. Who, like, I've seen a video where he says like patents are like roadblocks. So he's a person who has that genuine change to bring good things to humanity. You see the stuff he's doing with the rockets, the internet, the chips, I don't know, the cars, the electric cars. So he's a guy who's really, really driven.
Yeah.
And I draw a lot because Elon has gone through a lot. I mean, if you look at his story, to get where he's gotten, he's had a lot of setbacks. He's like blown money on projects that never really took off. So for any entrepreneur who's out there who wants to push, I think he's the man. And then I also love the fact that he's driven. He loves children. This is a man who really loves children. Yeah?
He's got 11 kids. Is it 10?
I think he's got 10 kids. And he keeps on saying that we, like, as human beings, really need to have children, and we need to, like, history, a family. These are things we shouldn't undermine. So I really draw a lot of inspiration.
Yeah. In Kenya, anyone specific that you look up to?
Who do I look up to nowadays in Kenya?
Take your time. Really? We can wait.
Before this whole fiasco happened, I really used to look up to the president because I felt that this guy became president under crazy odds. Like, people don't realize that, this guy, like, the whole establishment is literally against you. And you like, why the seat? I honestly used to look up. But nowadays, I think there's so much that has happened, and I honestly don't know who's my new role model in Kenya. To be very honest, I don't know who I can look up to.
Bro, I don't blame you, man. In Kenya, people are crazy.
Yeah, it's just a crazy place.
Yeah, easy stuff.
Yeah, well, you're a role model to a lot of people who are trying to start new businesses.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your journey, starting your first company, your first business, your first 100,000.
Yeah.
Let's just, for the people who haven't reached like 1 million, 100,000 is like their mark.
Yeah.
How did you start?
I started off in sales back in 2014. In fact, I'm marking 10 years in the car industry.
Wow.
10 years ago, exactly.
So you started when you're 17?
Hey bro, 10 years ago, time kai, if my memory serves me right, I was prepping for maths paper 2. It went down on a Tuesday, KCSE. And I remember I had these buddies of mine who used to sell cars. So at that point, I had actually been suspended from school for leading a strike.
Activist.
Yeah,
Man a bad man.
Yeah, I was a bad boy. So I was at home at that period, and like being at home when you've been suspended kind of gives you a bit of better perspective, because you first of all, my mom was like, look, I don't even want you to go to this school because you may just cause trouble, which is going to affect how you're going to perform.
Yeah.
So my mom, with the little money she had this buddy of mine. He's called Eric. He's an architect now, who was like my tutor. So morning hours, I'd go to the library, read, and then after I'd go to Eric, we'd do a bit of hesabus, and like in the afternoon, I'd be like free.
Yeah.
So that element of being free really had me thinking about my life. And there were guys who used to live in the same hood who used to sell cars. So I started seeing, I'd see this guy comes home in a Mark X. Kesho is shown up in a C-class. Kesho, and your time tunaishi ghetto. So it's like bringing a Mark X to them, like, hey, umse. So one of those guys, they had a bro who was like my age. His name is Jay. And like me and Jay were buddies. So growing up, tumegrow up pamoja, and when I saw what his brothers were doing, it really gave me the drive to become a car dealer.
Yeah.
So the moment I finished KCSE, I think I finished KCSE 5th November of 2014. If you were to go to my Facebook page, around 10th November of 2014, you'll see my first post for selling motifs. It was a Subaru Legacy, black in color. It's still there to this day. Yeah, 10 years ago.
That's
Still there. It's still there. So from that point, I started tamaking.
Yeah.
I looked for a job. Got signed up for my first sales job in 2015, January. So hapo I figured I did sales. Ile tu unajua ile client anakam nini. And I made my first 100k in 2015. No, we didn't make 100k. It was 2016. To be very precise. 2016 I made my first 100k clean. And I spent a bunch of that money on clothes. I mean, so dumb.
You mentioned the important, man. Let me ask you something, Khalif.
Yeah.
You know me, I love sales content. You know, I've done a bit of sales here and there, but you get you thriving. I think Nijupia ulianza mapema, you learned the ropes kwa game. In Kenya, what makes one a brilliant salesperson?
Learn to play around with understand how to,
especially in your industry.
In our industry, bro, you need to be seen. Me, if guys are not talking, I'm not a happy person. Guys need to be talking, by the way. People need to be talking.
I love that.
Like if I show you my because everything with our company is mostly digitized. Even the traffic we get on the website, we have the best car sales platform in Kenya, kairo.com.
Yeah, you guys just got an award.
Yeah, if you like head over to our website, every time guys are like trying to cook me on Twitter, bro, numbers inakuanga hivi. You can literally see the spike.
Wow.
Yeah. Kajana, like I think we were closing at 8,800 users in a day.
Wow.
If you sustain if you let them keep talking,
Yeah.
it gets even to 12,000 users in a day.
Yeah.
In a month, if you have 150,000 users, bro, the whole point is you need to get people's attention and leverage it. So in the midst of a storm, please post the cars. That's what I keep telling my staff. Look, guys, I'm about to trend. Let's get busy. Tuingie kazi sasa. Now the eyes, now ingia kazi. Because there's a guy who's be like, who's this Kairo guy? Why does he keep trending? Oh, goes and he's like, okay, and Kairo.com, what's this?
Yeah.
Or goes and, like, if you Google my name right now, just Google Khalif Kairo. You know what comes up? We've optimized our site that whenever you look me up, it's my company that comes first.
That's brilliant.
That's
Yeah,
You can literally test it right now.
Yeah. That is amazing.
So somebody's like, Khalif Kairo wife. It doesn't bring you shit about my wife. Sorry. It doesn't bring you anything about
you know what I mean?
It just brings
Yeah.
oh, he sells cars.
Yeah. Now I want to go into the whole plane industry. How did you jump from cars to jets?
It's interesting, but I've always had a passion for aircraft. Like from a very, very early age. And it starts back in like 2001. I was like 3 years old. No, 2001. Thereabout. I was like probably 3 years or 4 years old.
Yeah.
And like, you know, schools back in the days, I still see kids coming to Wilson. There are those trips where kiddos are taken to Wilson to see planes.
Yeah.
And bro was hooked. And then back around 2002, 2003, there was this guy called TID. TID does this song. It's called Siamini. And in that video, TID takes this girl, and then in the cockpit, TID is flying, and then there's like a clip about it. I remember seeing that thing back in 2003 or 2004. Those very early years, and it left a mark. And I was like, bro, this is so cool. I want to be a pilot. It stuck with me.
Wow.
So I always used to tell my mom, like, look, My mom was like, you know, flying is very expensive. I can't afford it. And I was like, okay, if I can't become a pilot, I'll be a lawyer. So if I wasn't flying, I'd probably be in law.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but I can tell you can make a good lawyer, bro, because you say a lot.
Yeah.
You have something to say.
Yeah.
So continue. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically from that point, I've always known that, look, much as I'm selling cars, the bigger vision for me is both cars and planes. That's basically my life. If God can give me the strongest aircraft sales or leasing platform in the world, we good to go. If God can still give me the best the best car sales platform in the world, good.
Do you feel like your background, bro, how you were raised, has kind of has an influence on how you perceive life, and especially when it comes to business? You're saying it's because of how you raised, your parents' influence, your background, the environment, everything plays out, and it obviously made you who you are, especially in terms of being amazing salesperson.
Yeah, it does, because my mom had a shop. I grew up in the ghetto, in Kawangware.
Okay.
So that is, I was heavily influenced. I grew up in the ghetto.
Karen is like, okay, what you want to do?
Yeah.
No. I mean, but what my mom did, one thing she really invested in with me was my education. Like she never, even in the ghetto, she always made sure I went to the best schools in the ghetto. She was like, you need to get your English. You need to learn how to talk. And my mom, even growing up, she'd take me like for swimming in very nice places. Like you'd see I'm a struggle. After like a swimming, you just, as in akutoe your mentality that you're in the ghetto. So she really like played a role. And then she was in business. So she just ran this shop in the ghetto. So I'd like man it. So me started being like, my mom, because she was a shopkeeper, I'd run her shop from Nikiwa class 4. That's my earliest memory.
Wow.
Man in my mom's shop.
So she basically built you to who you are today.
Basically, that heavy influence. That heavy influence of business, nini. I've grown up in more of a business setting. And then now fast forward, growing up in the ghetto has its own bad sides. You see a lot of bad things, so it kind of hardens you. So that's why nothing scares me. Me tell guys, I saw my first murder at 4. Literally,
on TV.
Honestly, I saw a guy who'd been murdered in 4 years. I've seen thieves getting banned. I've seen bad things in the ghetto. You see a lot of bad things. So it kind of hardens you. It really. So I see guys cooking me in the lake. Do you guys really have an idea who you're really trying? Because I've seen so many bad things. I've seen my mom struggle, especially during during my later years in the adult. She really struggled. She was really struggling. So I've been through very bad patches. So every time, even when I'm down, my spirits are low, I normally remember where God has brought me from. And I'm like, okay, how bad can it get?
Yeah.
JP?
Yeah. I'm just curious, from the bad events that you've gone through, what's your favorite car model that the best one that you have in your collection, or a car that you feel like you want to acquire?
I was initially a Lamborghini guy. I really wanted the Huracan. But my wife is a Ferrari person, and she's really influencing me. She's always showing me Ferrari reels, and I'm starting to like Ferraris.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think what's the best car right now? Okay, personal. What I'm driving right now, I drive a Porsche. And I honestly love Porsche. They're very good cars. They're like high-end vehicles you can drive every day with minimal maintenance cost. It's something Kenyans have not really gotten, but they're very easy cars to run. They're cars you drive every day, and you'll notice that stuff keeps breaking down up and apale. But Porsches are solid, very solid cars.
And I've also saw you quite active during the Mandamano things. Do you how do you feel about the progress in Kenya? And then secondly, would you ever run for a public office?
No. I don't think I'd ever want to run for any political office, to be very honest. I feel like the politics in Kenya is very murky. Extremely murky. It's not something I'd recommend anybody who has of good standing or anybody who has a reputation to protect to go into. But I still believe you really don't have to be a governor or a politician or an MP to make change in society. You can tell God to give you a lot of money, to give you good influence, and to be a role model. You can actually make way more impact as a role model. Because you see the problem, once you start going into politics, what I've learned is that when it comes to politics, Kenyans don't reason. People stop using their brains, and it's just emotions. So that's very bad. But you see, if you're neutral, you don't align to any political party. I'm not saying I'll not have political clients. I'll not you might maybe see me take a photo with the politicians, but I'm just saying I cannot associate and say from today I'm a member of this party. for life. No, I literally can't do that. I've realized the Mandamano taught me that. Number one, when it comes to politics, people can be very aggressive and everything. So I was like, no, this is not the space for me. I don't like this sort of toxicity. Like good vibes. I don't to like fear that if I go to a certain neighborhood because they support this candidate, they're going to stone my car. No. I don't even have a bodyguard. I don't carry a gun. I don't have tint on my car. I just live like a free element.
Let me ask you something, Khalif. You know, lately, especially if you look at different quarters on the internet, different spaces, whatever. What walikuwa nasema, these guys kina Khalif, sijui Kasmel, these guys they're on a payroll. They're here to push a certain narrative and an agenda, right? You kind of took a step back. Before you took a step back, ulikuwa naambia wase, you know what, guys, enough is enough. Let's give these guys a chance. Whatever happens, 2027 itafika, we're gonna make the right choice. Do you honestly believe the few Kenyans who got out there saying at the forefront fighting for social rights, easy civic engagements, all these other things, do you think they're genuine? These are just guns for hire?
Can I tell you the reason why I stopped doing that whole thing? And I was like, look, I'm not going to die for anybody's mistakes. Or like be a savior. It's because I realized a lot of guys were not doing it for country. They were doing it because they'd been paid.
Real talk. And you can prove this. It's like you just thought about it and you're imagining.
No, I know.
Okay.
You see, like you look. I kept telling guys during this like we need to be logical. On one side, if you say, look, this system has a problem and we really need to change it. It can't happen overnight. That's one thing people need to understand. A nation does not run on emotions, it runs on systems. Right now on the screen, I'm seeing they're trying to impeach somebody. They can't go and force him from the office and lock it with a big padlock. It can't happen. Much as they hate the guy or they have any issues with the guy, they have to follow the due process. That's what I was kept telling people. Look, this trajectory we are taking of like now trying to bulldoze things ends up very badly. But amidst the chaos, influencers were paid. Money was moving around. You understand? So that's why you then you start realizing that, look, there are people who are actually getting, people will hear the government saying, oh, people are being paid to destabilize. Yes, it's actually true. And that's why over time, all these things now are starting to come up. You see, a lie looks very attractive at first.
Correct.
If you tell people what they want to hear at first, you look like you're the hero and everything, but it's very hard to sustain it. Once the politicians have achieved what they want to achieve with you, you will be exposed and people will see you for what you are. It's already happening to some of these characters. It's already, I don't want to mention any names, but it's already happening. Because now, whatever intent they have, and because they weren't true, it gets to a point, and suddenly these things are being seen. And now people are now starting to tell me, hey bro, you are very wise for stepping back. Because now let's imagine you're doing all these things, you're trying to be the voice of reason, people are getting paid, and then the government decides, you know what, now since you guys are getting paid, now let's fight. They also unleash their machinery on you. But you're just doing your thing clean, una mambo mingi. So see, you're getting caught in the crossfire. You're risking everything with mercenaries. No bro, I easy. So but I still told guys, look, we're in 2024. This next election is only 3 years away. If you guys can start the same energy we had when we went to reject that bill, if you can just take the same energy and just say like, look, we need to look at these candidates one person by one person. If it's the governor, if it's the president, let's look at what these people have achieved, what they've not done, and let's look at each candidate. Trust me, imagine it's not very complex to get leaders. I think where Kenya is headed as a country, a time is coming we will not fight over tribe or everything. I feel like a time is coming when we will persecute issues. A time is coming. It's only that people want it to happen. Like click, press a button.
Correct.
Tomorrow, boom. We are all now saying that we want perfect people. No. Take note that the leadership in Kenya is a reflection of us as Kenyans.
I was going there. So basically, all these people that we vote in, how we castigate parliamentarians, it's Nisisi. Those are the same guys we put there. So we need to. Are you saying we need to blame ourselves?
To a certain extent. We need. We need to. Because there are a couple of things I've learned with this whole fiasco. I learned, number one, that Kenyans are very toxic. Extremely toxic. There are people who will be like, you could be going there and you're doing your thing, you're trying to bring some of these issues to light, and someone is like, let's drag him down. And politicians know this. That's why they're toxic. because their toxicity appeals to us. Because we're not good people. You understand? So a good person cannot come and thrive in an environment that is not good. It's the same way I keep saying, if you take oil and put it in this bottle, this bottle has water. If you put oil, they'd never mix. Even if you try shaking up this bottle, the oil will settle at the top, the water will settle at the bottom. It's the same thing with like Kenyan society. For people who have good morals, or for people who are of highest, who have like who are like honest and what, you cannot go and mix with politicians. They'll mess you up. The difference will always be seen, and you'll be very exposed to everything.
Sorry to cut you short. So you just said change is gradual. We can't just press a button and expect. No. But it happened in West Africa, bro. Why can't it happen in Kenya?
No, but if you start digging, there's a lot of propaganda about West Africa.
Okay.
But if you start digging, or if you start talking to pilots, to guys who fly in those places, they'll still tell you, much as they did, they have all these nice coupe, which look very good on paper. We're bringing change. Go now and start digging through those places. You still discover they have the same problems. The people will come, overthrow a government, kwanza they cut most of their freedoms, and the guys that it's a state of emergency, and then just start pilfering. But places where change is gradual, where you find like it starts with conversation, it starts with what. Like Mimi, one thing I appreciate with Kenya is today you can go to online and even insult the president, and I don't think anything much will happen to you. We really need to give ourselves credit sometimes. But there are things we could have not done in this country 20 years ago. Like during the Moi days, I mean, we all there are these crazy stories of guys getting tortured. But some of us have been born in a society where like we are very free. Kenya is very free. Me have been to neighboring countries that I can't mention, and you can literally feel that governments have way more control. In Kenya, to be very honest, it's very liberal. So over time, we just need to give ourselves time to end to mature. We start getting the right sort of leaders, and I honestly believe like there's a very bright future in this country. Why am I saying this? Look at the sort of money that is coming to Kenya right now. Do you know I've seen a research that was saying that Kenya is one of the most heavily funded countries in Africa in terms of startups?
True.
So the guys in San Francisco, the guys in New York see the future in your country.
The value,
Juicy, I see JP Morgan is setting up in Kenya.
What
does that tell you? It tells you that despite our issues, despite our problems, we have to rise above the pettiness and see that, look, we might have all these problems as a country, but generally there's a bit of progress being made. We may not see it right now. I remember even during the Kibaki days, my mom used to complain a lot. But nowadays everybody says during the Kibaki days were our best. You get the point. So sometimes Kenyans will complain. Kenyans will say everything. Even the former presidency of Uhuru Kenyatta. Now people are starting to say, wait, but it was better.
Yes.
But during that point, guys bullied that man's until he left Twitter.
Badly.
But nowadays I know wherever that chap is like, I told you.
Life.
You see. So it's very hard to appease to people at that heat of the moment. But over time, what wanaanza kuongelea that guy knew what he was doing.
So one thing I've noticed is that you're able to manage, I'll call you a crisis leader, because in times of crisis, you're able to manage yourself, you're able to make yourself relevant and known. So what would you tell to other leaders who are struggling with that issue? Trying to make their brand known, themselves known, especially during a crisis like this?
You just need to remain focused. You really, really need to remain focused. I'm a Christian, and I normally say that Christians, we believe that the devil is the enemy. So at times, Satan tries to convince you that everything is going bad, everything is going south, and that's why you see people getting into depression.
Right.
But on the other side, if you pray and you have faith in God, even in the midst of a crisis, you have to put the strong face. You have to wake up, you have to continue pushing. Even when you know that, look, we are actually in a very bad situation, you still have to remain focused, straight, and you have to do the right things. People get themselves in bad situations because during times of crisis, when they are under a lot of temptations, that's when they do bad things.
I agree.
Yeah.
You understand? Me personally, have been in situations where you like really need money in like a day or two, and somebody comes and gives you a very shady offer. Kwambia niaje tusaidie hapa hivi we are going to pay you this, and you're like, no, I can't do it. Despite the fact I know that I need this money. I know the moment I open that door, now I've started my downfall. But the moment you just remain calm, you look at issues objectively, don't get emotional. Emotions will cloud your judgment. Remain easy. In fact, I tell guys I've never blocked anybody on Twitter. Not a single soul. You can troll me for a whole week. Me, I'll just be posting motives. Tuna tu gari na postiwa ya kwanza ya pili. But I'll never block anybody because I never let it become emotional. I may do a response to it, but it doesn't go past the app. If we meet huko kwa streets, hi ni aje, mendeleaje, uko fit, just take it easy. Yeah, you just need to remain calm.
Yeah, I would like to know your philosophy. You've been dealing with so many clients in Nairobi, maybe around the whole of Kenya.
Yeah.
What's your philosophy just for customer service? How do you normally deal with people like on a daily? And this is...
You need to remain honest. I think that's business is not easy, especially in Kenya. But you just need to remain honest, and you need to you need to be driven by the fact that you must deliver, despite the challenges, because business is not always straightforward. But you need to remain committed to ensuring that this client is happy despite the challenges, despite the issues, despite the complaints. You just need to put a brave face, number one, and you need to try and alleviate all the complaints that they have. And number three, you also need to just be honest. Don't do dodgy things. In the name of trying to salvage the situations, just be honest. Tell a person, look, this is the problem, X, Y, Z.
And as a business, where is your biggest expense?
Basically in this country, actually it's taxes, especially with car importation. Taxes in Kenya are pretty steep. Which is something that's it's really costing us, because what's happening is we are curtailing the expansion of this industry. I saw before I walked in here, these are EV guys. This company that was I'm seeing their catalog on the table. If you were to ask them, probably what's the craziest challenge is the tax regime in Kenya.
We just talked about that.
You see, but I wasn't in the but I know I know it was an issue. Because you see, we're in this industry, and what I keep telling the government, I'd even be willing to consult for them for free, to show them how they can make more money on taxation without necessarily having to hurt people. It's actually very straightforward. You drive along Mombasa Road, you will never see a single Ferrari, you'll never see a single Lamborghini. It's not that these cars Kenyans can't afford them. It's because the taxes are exorbitant. But if you told Kenyans, look, we've come up with a new tax structure that is, number one, straightforward, fair, and simple to interpret, you would actually collect more revenue.
Because many guys will be willing to even bring this
website. Yes. Now what we have is we have a punitive tax regime that seeks to punish people who bring especially high-end cars. So what happens to some of these people? A person who can afford a Ferrari at 40 million or 50 million Kenya shillings can definitely afford an apartment in Dubai for 20. So some of them will buy houses in Dubai, Cape Town, Johannesburg, and end up buying the same cars. I used to have a friend, and he'd tell me, like, your Porsche is like 7-8 million. It's a Cayenne. If you bring this same money to Cape Town, you can even get a nicer version of your Porsche, or even add like 2 million. You can even get maybe a Ferrari. Nice. But you see, in Kenya, I was doing maths the other day for a Ferrari, and like the cost is like, I'm going to spend 22 million. The cost of the car is only 12 million from my dealer in Japan, but I'm going to have to pay the government an extra almost 5 to 10 million in terms of taxes.
Wow.
So see, it's really ridiculous. But if the government was like, look, we are creating a special category for supercars. If your supercar is 2018 and meets these certain specifications, just pay a flat rate of 4 mil. Bro, you're going to see guys bringing Raris all over. But if you keep adding, you want to bring one person, mumgonge duty at 10 million, how many do you think are going to bring that car? You'll only be getting one person in a year, when you could have brought the duty down to 4 million and gotten 100 people.
Actually, speaking of taxes, do you think that that's one of the reasons that is killing small business trying to start up?
We have, I mean, they really need, like, a lot of work needs to be done. Even the way we, as a country, the way we treat taxpayers, it's not right. Personally, like, at times I've had very those minor taxation issues. But the way these guys come at you, like, hey bro, like, is it that you guys want to close down, like it's like we're having an ego contest, and it's not right for businesses. People have to pay taxes. There's no shortcut about that. But the thing is, there's a better way you can approach it. You can have simpler laws, number one. You can have a simpler way of resolving disputes, and number three, you can just try to broaden the tax base. Because what you have in Kenya is you have a problem where people, especially the ones who are employed, carry the burden of taxation in this country. These people, the Mapei and whatnot, those are the people who actually carry the burden. But if the government could find a way of broadening that tax base, bringing in smaller taxpayers, try to talk to them, bring in incentives, like tell guys, look, you can access certain government loans, but you have to be tax compliant. Just entice people to pay their taxes. It becomes very, very easy. Because I've been in the US and I see how the IRS like relates with people in terms of taxation, how simple it is to file and do everything, and that makes the government of the US collect a lot of money in taxes. So I feel that if they simplified some of these procedures and work on their PR, especially with KRA, just make them tuache kuogopa.
Yeah.
There's a time I posted a video and I had a dispute with a certain tax office, and guys were like, hey, they're going to come at you badly. But I'm like, look, no, it doesn't have to be like that. I'm not saying they're evil people. I've just raised a concern.
Yeah.
Why does it have to look like they're going to come and shut me down? No. But you see, that's the perception people have. Number one is changing that perception. The same way they changed the Kenya police, what was it called? Now they call it a service. They're trying to make cops. I see cops doing TikToks. You know, they're just trying to make
them more human.
They're just trying to humanize cops, which is a good thing. That's basically the whole point. Humanize these people. Wacha tuona watu wachange kuona nikaa ni vita. Wacha tukuange bedheni aje. They can even do like a flea market. Kiareda organizes a flea market in Nyayo. You come and do a garage sale. And like, you know, just work on the PR.
Yeah.
Right, guys, if you're just joining us, we have the one and only Superman, Khalif Kairo, man. This guy has done a lot, and we're so excited to, just dig deep, man, understand how he approaches business, his money lifestyle, relationships, social media, society, Kaizo. So if you can tune in right now, do it. We're on 94.4 right in Nairobi. Also on the frequently, that is, it's www.spicefm.co.ke. We're live on Facebook as well as on YouTube.
Pure golden sound and good talk. 94.4 Spice FM.
Khalif, let me ask you something, brother.
Yeah.
Your brand is growing at an exponential rate, bro. And I'm happy for you, man. You've done the work.
Asante.
So, we were talking to somebody over here a couple of days ago. I can't remember who. I was like, Kenya, you guys, we're just looking forward to the day when we'll have our own Obama.
Yeah.
Is there any individual in this country, aside from yourself, who you think fits into those shoes of being Obama and has speed up that change that Kenyans are looking forward to?
In terms of
governance,
politics.
Yeah, all those things.
Now, to be honest, they don't see anybody. To be very, very honest.
There isn't anyone who has stood out for you, Kasama. You know what? This is a good Pan-African. This is what Kenya needs.
No,
somebody who's already in this political arena.
No. One person I feel that doesn't get enough flowers is this lady on Twitter, Hanifa. Hanifa doesn't get enough flowers. See people attacking her, and she gets very angry at times. And at times I feel like calling Anne Mwambini. I just ignore these people. She's very good. That chick is going places. That one I can tell you for a fact. And why do I say this? At times you don't even have to look at... I just look at how she tackles issues in society. I remember during the Mandamano thing, how they really went out of their way to manage the fund. A couple of bills were paid. The money was audited. And I was looking at her and I was like... They might not know it, she might not know it maybe, but this is probably we are seeing the next breed of governance in Kenya. If we protect some of these people, but look at her. The most frustration she's gotten, hata zdani ya maila la sales 2 days amati akakuwa kidnapped. No, it's not the government frustrating her. It's literally people on the internet who are frustrating her.
I agree.
She keeps deactivating her account. Si kwa sababu ati ametishiwa ameambiwa probably Gava guys are just like somewhere chilling whiskey, also following the proceedings on Twitter. Because they are people, because you have the devil's agent doing the work. Yeah, but me I feel there's a lot of potential in that lady. Yeah. Like I've interacted with her once, nini, but she's destined for great things.
Yeah, so if 2027, assuming Sasa today is 2027, the electioneering period is mad.
Yeah.
And there's a presidential candidate who wants you to support them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be come in, Kairo, we have the same ideologies.
Yeah.
Jump onto my ship. You don't even have to run for anything.
Yeah.
I just need your support. Would you do that?
No, it depends.
On what?
It's something I'd actually have to pray about.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see, words are sweet. Tutatenga, tutafanya. All these things are nice. But you see, you need to understand some of these things transcend beyond the physical. You need to know what's the intention of this person. Yeah. Does he want to buy half the land in Dubai with money from the government's coffers? So it all depends. But you see, if there was somebody genuinely who has the thoughts of the youth in this country, and they want you to come on board as an advisor, as a technocrat, and as everything, it's something I can't say that I can't do it.
Yeah.
But the active political scene, over my dead body.
Yeah.
That one I will never do.
All right, JP.
Yeah.
No, as in the other day when Junjenga was here, you're all over, like today it's Steph, man. Steph is just stiff.
You noticed?
Yeah, man. Steph, what's happening? Are you okay?
Steph is a fan.
Yeah.
Don't throw me under the bus. I'm just listening.
Steph, there's water.
Yeah, there's water. Get
Some
some
water,
water.
yeah.
Get you some
I've got the entire jerrycan here. Thank you.
But Khalif, okay, JP, you wanna jump in?
Yeah, I just wanted to.
All right, sir.
I just want to understand, know like what's his favorite experience as a car dealer. Like, what does he really enjoy out of what he does?
Yeah.
Yeah, what gives him fulfillment?
Shooting content actually.
Really?
Yeah, every time like I go into the showroom and we make videos, and then the guys call me the next day like, but then the car which you shot yesterday to Meuza, can you do 5 more videos?
Nice.
I'm like, or doing a delivery for a person who trusts us to import a car for them. That warms my heart. You can, because most times like 90% of clients, when you're about to deliver the car, this will be like crazy pressure. And then nowadays you find times like kama today we had an outage with the KRA system. Quite common sometimes. I think the system is so busy, but hakuna outage. So you promise someone Leo will pay the duty. It doesn't happen. So they're going to have a fight. But the moment like you check the vehicle and you deliver it and you see this client, like literally you've made their dream come true.
Yeah.
You've delivered whatever they wanted and you've exceeded the expectation. Warms my heart.
Let me tell you, the first time I started following you, actually, I used to think like the vehicles he sells are like unreachable. But kuna time ulipost some car na ukasema unaweza ipata na so tatu so nne, nikasema ala follow.
Ameenda ni 150 you guys. So I saw him in a gari for 150. I was like, what?
Yeah, because I didn't know that actually you could get cars for low low costs and at least
Yeah, we've been trying to expand the company right now. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create 2 distinct identities. Right? We have a new dealership in Diamond Plaza. That's called the Diamond Collection. So that's going to be high end.
Okay.
I'm talking about Ferrari high end. Koenigzags.
Talk that talk.
Yeah, that's when niko hapa naomba serikali ingilie kati tengeneze hizo duty. So that we make money.
So what you bring.
We make money, we give people jobs, and we change the whole perception. Like this is something but I'll try to lobby the government. I'm really going to, once like the dealership is up and running, like it's up and running, but like once we start bringing in the cars, the heavy ones, this is something I'm really going to push. This is a campaign I'm going to do that to tell the government to review the taxes
for sure.
Create a super car category. That's number 1. The second other thing we are trying to segment is now the common mwananchi, and I'll explain why. If you take a spot check on a lot of showrooms in Kenya, quite a number of them, everybody is talking cars for the middle class. CX5 zimejai towns sijui kama nini. There's like which other car is popular? Harriers are everywhere. In showrooms, City Idol, Prados, tens of them.
Yeah.
But there's a guy who's in Campo, or a guy who's gotten their first name, has 4 sock. Mbele nyuma. Yeye hataki mambo ya loan. He just wants to go to a showroom where he's going to be treated decently.
Yeah.
You understand? He's going to come in, tumpatie agreement, asmailiwe hapo, apewe kahawa, appreciatiwe na auziwe gari enye azina hata kama ni gari mzee, tumemfanyia checks, documentation iko sawa, na tunamuuzia. Because the current model in Kenya for the low end market, it's completely neglected. So this is something I want to tell people, like, look, I just don't sell Ferraris, bro. Ukinipata Kiambu Road, me I'm like your local Kikuyu uncle, bro. Kuja hapa niambie like I have a niko na kafiuda hapa, like kazuri, Yeah, so we're just trying to create those 2 brands. So Kairo is going to be the mass brand.
That's awesome.
Anybody hata uko Lodwa, you can go to Lodwa and get a mini Kairo with like 2 cars. You can go to like maybe Mombasa, upate tuko na nini, and want to do those 200-300 cars. And then we also need to have the ultra high end, because they're buyers, they're like clientele I've had over the years who've given me super high end cars, and they can't just super high end deals, and they can't just ignore them. So slowly segmenting the 2 brands. Kuna division ya high end
na Diamond,
na kuna division ya Diamond. So mimi I can't come and say you don't do we are open.
Let me ask you, how do you handle a client? Kenya, I mean, we are different kind of folks out here, but a client who, of course, anataka a high-end car, but anataka pia special treatment. Khalif, I've seen you online, but even me, I'm a big boss. Treat me differently, bona. I'm not a Gen Z.
Apana, you do. Like, I'll go see them in person. We will just give them the special treatment. A client is always right. Correct. If a client makes a request that they want to deal with me directly, I don't say no.
What are some of the misconceptions about the car sales industry? Especially in Kenya?
What misconceptions do guys have? Let me try and see.
Like, for example, hot chicks are the ones who can sell better.
Ariel ya mama.
Oh, yeah.
What's the craziest one umesikia?
Anti-Karen.
No, stereotypes mean it's like every car dealer is involved in money laundering. That's something
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen even one like top blogger once tried, and I told him like, look, bro, just go check my records. Every transaction I've done for the last 1 year is backed by an agreement. You can see this is where the money came from. It came into this account. This is who the supplier is, and this is how much he was paid. So you see, there's that perception, number one. And then you're going to have other perceptions that all car dealers are dodgy. No, it doesn't have to be that way. We try to be very straightforward. Yeah, like we really try to have systems in place. Like us, we have a legal department, we have customer care, we have HR. We're just trying to create a very good environment. We're trying to change this perception of a bunch of cars and a small container office, and then you just walk in and just have an agreement. No, we want to have a very good process. In fact, we are hoping with once we get the right sort of capital, we want to introduce new technology, AI, on the website here, and go there, chat with our AI.
Yeah.
Nakwambia wewe we're trying to introduce online checkout. If you're in Kisumu and you trust us, you don't have to come to the showroom. Go to the website, put in your details, generates an agreement for you, generates an invoice for you. Put in your card details, cutters from your credit card. The next day there's a truck delivering the car for you. So you're just trying to bring
seamless,
better service. We also want to play around with virtual reality. Create virtual reality for some cars, especially the high-end ones. You can take a quick dive into a car. You can explore it.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
Really dope.
Fam, I'm reading some titles over here on YouTube, but unajua saa zingine some of these titles, I know they're kind of strange, but they have a bit of truth in it.
Yeah. Are
you a billionaire, bro?
Okay, to be very honest, this was actually in the Nini. That was Radio Maisha. These guys people keep asking me about my net
worth.
And to be very honest, and I'm not really exaggerating everything. The amount of work we've done on Kai and Kairo. We have a platform with 1.2 million users. Just picture this, 1.2 million users in every year use Kai and Kairo. Imagine if you integrated a spare parts engine into that website. The possibilities are endless. In the last 1 year, the total combined value of cars that was sold through our platform, we hit the 800 to 900 million range, close to a B in 1 year. Now, do we own these cars? No. We just own the platform. So I argue it out from the perspective of Uber or the perspective of B&B. These people don't own any hotels. B&B does not own an Airbnb hotel, Nairobi, River Road. No. They just have a very good platform that does what it's intended to do. So when these guys asked me what my net worth was, I was like, look, I have never really valued myself, but I know that my companies, and I own Kai and Kairo fully. I don't have any other investors, any other shareholders. At this particular point, I own the company fully. That company is valued over 1 billion. And I'm not saying this.
Talk.
I'm just saying if I was to ever sell it, I'd probably even quote even 2 or 3 billion. Why? Because I know the potential it has.
That it has.
Yeah, I understand the potential because it's a very disruptive product. You see, we're talking about incorporating AI into how we sell cars. We're talking about incorporating these used cars. We're even talking about licensing the platform to other countries. The brand, like we can go to Sudan today, give you the manuals, give you the branding, give you the website and the system, and tell you every month you have to pay us $1,000, and people will pay. Why? Because the system is very simple. It just incorporates everything. So you'll find in this world we live in, it's not about having a net worth of $1 billion does not mean that that I have $1 billion sitting in my account. Lord knows my M-Pesa has less than 5K right now. But it's what your net worth is, what these businesses you have, what are they really actually worth? It's like, you remember that story of the golden goose. If you had a goose that lays golden eggs, one egg could be equivalent to 10,000 shillings. But if you were to buy the entire goose, the owner could say even $1 million shillings. Because as long as you have that goose, you're always going to be in business. So it comes from that perspective. But it doesn't mean I have a 1 billion sitting in an account. No, honestly, if I had, they'd probably be a supercar down there. But we're headed there. So the companies are worth of 1B. But which again, if you say the company is over, who owns the company? So if you had someone who had a stake of 10%, they'd say, I have a net worth of 10% based on my valuation, based on the valuation of a company I own, and I have a stake of 10%. So you can say my net worth is 100 million. And I know these numbers scare people, but if you are to go into the US, $10 million is nothing. Kenda place car San Francisco. That is what local Kenyan companies have been raising. Chini ya maji tu. I know of a local car dealership that raised $500,000. Half a B in funding. They raised $500 million in funding. So imagine the sort of valuation they have.
Exactly.
And I think we have way more presence than them.
Right.
Yeah. So imagine if they raised $500 million.
What's the potential?
Yeah, what's the potential?
Yeah.
Maybe even, yeah.
Yeah. Easy. As we wrap up the conversation, because I can see it's 9:15.
Yeah.
You can see whatever's happening on the screen.
Yeah.
DP mas, any guys are like, this guy has to go, Mara, he's 6, Junini. Did you ever foresee this happening, this whole impeachment process? Real talk.
Let me tell you, this Kenyan politics is very unpredictable. To be very honest. You know, people during the protests were trolling me. Especially when I told guys don't go to State House. But I keep telling them the events that have happened in this country in the past few weeks, youths would have been used to settle certain political scores.
My God.
Misused.
That's so real.
You understand? So we were not telling people to go to the streets because we had been paid. Some of us saw this. People, that's why the protests were being infiltrated, because people have scores to settle. And these are not scores that involve you. This has got nothing to do with you getting new healthcare or getting you a good school. These are just political scores. Watu walikaa chini, they agreed on their own things without caring mostly about the Kenyan publics. Yeah. They have their own deals going around. Na wanakosana. But when that Gen Z thing started picking and that bill was like, when we were telling the government to drop the bill, they are political players who are like, now we found a good spot to settle scores with the government. And so imagine if this sort of money is getting funded into this whole protest thing, and people go to the streets and get killed. Me, I saw a guy get killed outside parliament.
Yeah.
Most of the people who are attacking me were never in those protests, but me, I saw a guy get killed. And I was like, as much as maybe God has given me a bit of influence, where it's gotten to, and these sort of divisions that are creeping up in government, this movement will be used to settle them.
I saw Boniface Mwangi saying how, he's so stressed out. There's a time he was in Hosi a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
You remember? Depression in Nini.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to my friends here. I was like, you know what? It doesn't have to get to those places, man. You have a family, you're a young guy, you have a whole world ahead of you.
Yeah.
Did it ever bother you? Maybe were you also stressed? You're saying, what am I doing in my life? It's pointless. Did you ever get stressed out and worried?
No, I did. Honestly, I did.
Because
on one side, I keep telling people, some of us went to the streets because we have businesses. That Finance Act wasn't right. Like, honestly, and all the government would have done at that particular point was just listen to people. It didn't have to get to that point where we are going to the streets.
Yeah.
Do you know how bad it is for average business people to close their businesses and go to the streets? Do you know how bad you have to be out of touch? For guys like regular guys, maybe I don't even comment on politics. That I know I'm not commenting on this whole thing. This is just even if it was our wanasiasa, them in politics. Yeah. But you know how bad it is for us to say that this thing is not right. It's because we felt that things are not heading the right way. And the problem is at times leaders can be in like an echo chamber of sorts where they don't want to hear voices from the outside. And that's the whole point when you start seeing that in the streets the bill has been pulled down and people still want to escalate this issue, and you're very sure that more people are going to die, trust me, it's going to affect you. It really affected me because I was like, no, apana, si wametoa bill. No, we don't have to keep going to the streets. Why do we have to create a scenario where more people are going to die?
To keep pushing.
There's no need there. So shida yetu ilikuwa the bill. Si ametoa amesema sawa. Go back to the na maybe watu bedhe kujeni tuongee. Why kwa nini bado mnataka to accelerate this thing? And you see, now I see people saying, they were political players. But now you see the moment now the youths waliondoka hiyo story, now you've seen politicians sorting their issues. Nobody's dying. You see everybody's watching an impeachment from home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody's just at home watching the impeachment. Lawyer ni hatari, we're all laughing about it, we're making memes. But today there's no kid, there's no mother today. Mtoto wake amekosa kwenda nyumbani. Alikuwa man. Mimi by then nikiangalia mlekea, make fun of me, troll me the way you want, but the good thing is my conscience is so clear. I'm like, We told people to go to the streets for the finance bill because I was honestly, we mobilized people. We were like, let's go. This thing is not good for Kenyan youths. And when we saw that things were going south, I took responsibility. And I told people, kwenye imefika, I can't tell you to go to the streets again. It's dangerous for you. There are other political players in. So tuondoke, we are not politicians. Yeah. Let politicians square themselves out. You see how they're doing? They're doing their clown things. They're doing their kawaida stuff. Hapo si atuyuko. Yes, we just talk about it, make memes, but no kid is going to die. Then 2027, watu watumia akili, they go get their voters card and vote in the right people. Yeah.
So on a lighter note, let's mellow things down.
Yeah.
I want to take you down memory lane. I like to do this with most of my guests.
Yeah.
Tell me a song that resonates with you, like during your teen years, that you'd hear that song, you'd be like, oh my God, this is my track. This is my jam.
Justin Timberlake, What Goes Around.
I want to play that or not. That is the one and only Khalif Kairo. Where is this? What goes around? It's been real. Anyway, guys, I hope umejibamba manze. We've been hanging out with the one and only Khalif Kairo. And, we're looking forward to seeing you win as usual. I like it when my brothers win. So endelea kuwin maze, so we can have better content.
Asante kabisa.
Easy man. So when we come back, we're going to cruise the internet, and of course you can still talk to us. We're going to read those comments. Na chikima comments ni kibao maze. Thank you so much for sharing on your platform as well.
Asante.
Fiti sana maze. Big ups, that's the one and only Kairo. It's 19 minutes after 9. Twende kazi. Good evening.